Scorpio, hello and welcome into your video for the new moon in Capricorn taking place December 30th at 10 degrees of Capricorn. So checking into where 10 degrees of Capricorn might fall in your chart, what house, what area of life might that be affecting for you, darling Scorpios? Hello, this is Lauren the Mystic. So welcome into all returning viewers. I thank you so much for joining me today. I have just meditated over and pulled all of your cards. We are going to do a reading to tune into the energetic themes that you can work with, to tune into what you are leaving behind in 2024, where you can focus your intentions on what you would like to really grow and build, what might support you in that intention building process, and what might be blossoming for you in 2025, along with some soul growth messages that are going to speak to maybe the deeper workings going on behind the scene in your life. So again, welcome in. If you are a Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, or moon, I recommend that you listen in for all of your placements. I am typically reading for a rising sign perspective, but I welcome in all of the placements and just really let's take a nice deep breath in together and call forward your highest aspect, your most divine aspect of self to be present here with you right now, activating your intuitive knowing and bringing it into the forefront of your consciousness as we listen in to the discussion of these energetic archetypes, inviting you to find the perfect truth and harmony as it applies to your story, knowing that this is a general reading and will not be as specific for you because of that. So thank you for that moment. All right, Scorpio, let's get into it. We are starting off, I'm going to have to use my thumb here. We're starting off with the message of pleasure as your first card out of the deck. Now, this is the overall energetic theme that Spirit is encouraging you to really focus on being in this state of embodiment, embodying that energy of your own personal pleasure principle. Perfect for the holidays, perfect for this time of year, but really focusing on what in your life is bringing you greater amounts of pleasure, of expression, creating a life that is built around that pleasure principle is what I'm hearing. And just incorporating this element into everything that it is that you're doing, especially right now. Leaning into joy, leaning into play is what I'm hearing. So let's take a look at what you are leaving behind as we conclude this year of 2024, which has been quite the year. You have got the 10 of Air, which is really discussing leaving a difficult, there was an ending of a difficult situation that you are leaving behind. There has been some change that you've had to embrace as a result. And now things are really looking better as you're concluding this year. There has been, though, some changes that have required, and it might have been some deep change of potentially some type of our own self-sabotage is what I'm hearing. Maybe some self-sabotaging thoughts or behaviors or energies that we were really just holding on to for too long in our life that was part of this difficult situation, right? And so we're really like almost in this state of recovering. It's almost a state of recovering your nervous system is what I just heard. Air energy is mental strain and stress. And 10 is the completion of a cycle, and it is about the process of change that is going along with that completion. And your soul growth card that goes along with this message is We the Hathors, and this comes from the Star Seed Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, by the way. And so this just tunes into that deeper message of what might be going on behind the actual circumstances as they're playing out, what growth is taking place really. And this is really about leaning into our own. So this card in particular speaks to the divine feminine lineage, the lineage through our mothers. It is about a deep love, a very maternal love. And this is about holding that love, you know, using that passion, right? Going back to the pleasure principle here, using the energy of passion to be this alchemical fuel, which creates a portal. This speaks to birthing new creations and the portal which they come through. And this portal is something that we hold in our heart space, in our love. It's a space of energetic passion. So what I would say is that whatever's been going on in regards to this difficult situation, it's required you to really do some ancestral clearing, look into perhaps some of your own deeper patterns, and then recognize your own potential to birth new creation from that space, to basically disconnect from any energies that are not supporting you or were not supporting you. So you've made some really big moves this year, it sounds like, Scorpio. So for the new moon and at the new year, you know, it's very auspicious. Not only do we have 2 new moons in 1 month, which is a very, and from an ancient perspective, this is considered a very auspicious event, right? Very fortuitous as well. And we happen to have this moon falling right at, and within the energetic orb of the new year as we are shifting from 2024 to 2025. And that really creates the seated potential where we have the opportunity to slow down, to sit with ourselves, to really get clear on what intentions we're seeding, what we really plan to build and create going forward, what we're going to be working to grow, right? And it also gives us the opportunity to set intentions on what is no longer traveling with us. If there's anything that needs to still be left behind, this is that time to basically clean that up from an energetic perspective, right? And so a lot of times that's what we're doing at the end of the year, is we're sort of taking that moment and that pause. And so these cards are meant to support that process for you. And hopefully they will speak to you. Let me take a sip of my tea. I apologize. There's been so much going on, you know, in terms of illnesses out there. And something is just like in my voice, in my throat. You can hear it. So you have got the King of Air as your guidance card here to work with. And it's about really invoking your intentions to speak your mind with confidence. It's really speaking to balancing both the mind and the heart space, the mental knowing with the knowing of the heart as you're taking action steps. This is also about knowing when you need to call in professional advice to further assist your plan, to further assist your execution and what you are doing, working on, building, or growing. This is about embodying the energy of a person who is incredibly brilliant, full of amazing ideas, someone who is very diplomatic and is very professional in their demeanor. And so your intentions may be about stepping into a place where you are more confident with how you are speaking your mind. Maybe there is some area that you need to call in some professional advice and then take some action steps about that this coming year to really support your goals and what you want to create. This is also about setting intentions to really create that mind-heart coherence and to move through life in a way where you are not just looking at it through the egoic aspect or the 3D aspect of the mind, but you're also incorporating in your higher mind, your intuitive knowing, and then utilizing that knowing in conjunction with how it feels, how it's landing emotionally, and then making a decision from that space. And that's the energy of this King of Air, right? And supporting that as you make your intentions, as you sit in this portal space here, we've got the 7 star sisters, which really speaks to Pleiadian energy. This speaks to the galactic center, which we are still in alignment with right now. Going to be exiting that alignment soon, but we are still really receiving energies from that space of galactic consciousness. And this is about you being that visionary. You know, remember the King of Air is very brilliant. He's a visionary person. And so it's you utilizing your own ability to vision, to birth new creation. This is about your own self-expression, expressing yourself in a way that's authentic to you. This is also about the tapestry of life and how, as we go through the cycles, the ebbs and the flows, as we move within and without these new chapters, new opportunities, new spaces, new relationships, that weaves this tapestry of life as we go. It weaves our story. And so this is about the story that you are creating for yourself and visioning what that story really is, utilizing, you know, your own beautiful, I think, visionary ability to kind of imagine what you want to create and then expressing that out into form, okay? And so what can you expect to blossom more in 2025? Well, we've got the 3 of Water, which is like the 3 of Cups. This is celebratory energy. It could be about a wedding, a graduation, a birth announcement, but this really is speaking about getting together in a group of like-minded people who you enjoy and having a lot more fun. What I heard is from Spirit is that this is really about infusing much more fun. I just heard less work, more play, more fun, and infusing even your work with that sense of celebration, of fun. And perhaps this could be about a business venture. You know, maybe there is something to do with you creating a business that focuses on the celebration of life. It focuses on these types of, you know, milestones, birth, graduation, weddings, getting together with people, creating that fun. I mean, this could be something that you are actually literally birthing through a business as well, and that is your business, you know. Again, these are general readings, and so bring this in, you know, to your life and allow it to land as is appropriate. But this is definitely speaking about many more opportunities for fun. And again, don't forget, we've got pleasure leading the way here as your primary energy. So from a soul's growth perspective, the rest of what came out, we've got 2 cards here that came out, and so this could be that they are working together. This could also be speaking to maybe there is, you know, a lesson for one part of this collective that doesn't apply for everybody. You will have to, of course, lean into this Again, this is about what is blossoming in 2025. And so the first card out was perspective, getting new perspective. And what I'm seeing is really, again, with that visionary energy, it's that ability to zoom out and to really grasp all of the information that is surrounding the subject matter, to get a different viewpoint and then see it in a new way of how you want to bring the vision into form. This can also speak to zooming out from a conflict, zooming out from a situation, finding the common ground if there is a conflict, and recognizing that it could be that in the long term, there might need to be a perspective shift, and perhaps something that feels quite incredibly serious, if should that come up, is something that in the long run is actually not going to be something that you really are going to feel like is incredibly impactful, you know? And so this is talking about allowing, you know, that realization that in the bigger picture, it may not matter. If you zoom out from the problem, what you're upset about might not be quite as big of a deal as what it feels like in the moment. And that can be really hard advice, right? Nobody wants to be told, hey, you're making a bigger deal out of this than you need to be. You know, so don't kill the messenger. These are from spirit. But having that ability to remember perspective this year, if something should come along and shake you up, or if there is a challenge and you need to find a different vantage point or seek some common ground, remembering that this card came up might serve you. And we've also got karmic relationships showing up. This is Orion energy. This does speak to polarity, like the yin and the yang, you know, so it speaks to some shadow work. It can speak to soul growth opportunities that are going to be presenting themselves. This can also speak to, again, a little bit of that feeling of conflict or tension, the tension between two poles, you know, holding two opposites and then finding the balancing point in between. That is our growth spot a lot of times. And so this card can speak to that, but it can quite literally speak to a literal karmic relationship that is going to show up in your life this year that will require and put you into a trajectory of a soul growth experience, you know? So just be aware if that shows up, if that is something that you do or do not want to participate in. Of course, that is always up to you, darlings. And your Moonology card is take time to breathe out. Spending time in stillness, spending time in meditation, remembering the guiding principle of this year is your pleasure principle. You know, allowing yourself to find that wild abandon, that ecstatic state that really lights you up no matter what you are going through. And I feel like that is a very direct guidance with your work for a lot of you, that by incorporating more of a focus of pleasure and fun, that this is really what's going to be part of what you're seeding for yourself, your new intentions going forward, hopefully helping to heal some of this difficulty. And perhaps this perspective has to do with a karmic relationship, and maybe you'll gain perspective this year over something that already occurred in the past. Maybe this isn't speaking to a new relationship. So again, just being aware, Scorpios, whatever may be presenting itself, just know that you are in process here of birthing something magnificent. And it's always through the difficulty that we usually find the most beautiful rainbows that appear in our life. So I am sending you so much love as we conclude this year, and many, many fortuitous and beautiful wishes for the next new year. Also, don't forget, if you're interested in either receiving a private reading or entering to win a private reading, I am running a contest. You have through the end of today and tomorrow, most of tomorrow, to still subscribe and leave me a comment. Leaving the comment will enter you in to win. I'm going to draw 3 names from a hat tomorrow with my family, and I will announce the winners on the channel and get in touch that way once I know your username, which is why I need the comment. But also, if you're looking for more individual guidance, if you'd like to, purchase a private reading, I have now opened those up. I do very similar readings. You will see my face in those readings, but what we are going to do is a recorded reading. You'll, of course, be very specific on what it is you are wanting to have me dive into, and then I will create a personalized recorded reading just for you. All right, well, take such good care, and I will see you soon. And until then, Happy New Year!